Sicily, Italy, largest island in the grappling with the aftermath of a violent storm that unleashed torrential rain, fierce winds and severe flooding across the region. The storm, which struck over limit, caused widespread destruction, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake, prompted urgent response to local authority and emergency service. The cities of Catania and Messina have been particularly hard hit, with the streets transformed into rivers, homes inundated. In Catania, a major urban center, a heavy downpour had left to clear schools and businesses, while emergency response working tirelessly to rescue residents trapped in their homes. Footage circulated on social media showed cars submerged and residents walking throughout the knee-deep water, highlighting the severity of the flooding. Local authorities have reported several rivers in the region have overflowed, exacerbating the flooding and complicating rescue efforts. The Averita River burst through the heat of Catania and reached critical levels, prompting trial to further flooding. In response, the government mobilized additional resources, including military personnel, to aid the relief efforts. The storm has also disrupted transportation, with the several roads and highways inundated and possible due to flood waters and debris. Rail service have been suspended in affected areas, and Catania's Fontorosa airport has experienced significant delays and cancellations. Standing numerous passengers, electricity and communication have been severely impacted, leaving thousands of homes without power. Technical are working around the clock to restore service, but the extent of the damage has made the task daunting. The local utility company was working to take several days to fully restore power to all affected areas. Local officials have urged residents to remain indoors and avoid non-essential travel. The Italian Civil Protection Department has issued a red alert to region, indicating the high risk of fully severe weather and urging people to stay updated throughout the official channel. The storms intensified, suggesting flooding, heavy downpour, comparison similar catastrophic events in the past of experts pointing to climate change and contributing factor of increasing frequency and severity of such storms. Sicily, known for its not dry summer, has been experiencing more erratic, extreme weather patterns in the recent year, a threat to scientists attributed to the broader impact of climate change, as Sicily began to arduous process to recovery. The focus remained providing immediate relief for those affected and the full extent of the damage. The community's resilience to being tested once again with the contributing efforts to support Sicily and to overcome the latest challenge. A severe storm struck Milan late Sunday night, unleashed heavy rain, powerful winds and lightning that caused widespread disruption across the city. The tempest, which lasted several hours, resulted in significant damage to infrastructure, transportation networks and residential areas. Authorities reported that storm, which began around 10 p.m., quickly intensified, overwhelming the city drainage system and leaving the flash flooding in numerous districts. The vital canals, population historic are known as nightlife, so water level are overwhelmed, inundated streets and growth life flow established. Emergency services were swiftly mobilized to address the crisis. Firefighters are policies working through the night, responding to calls to flooded basements, standing vehicles and fallen trees. The city's public transportation networks were severely affected, with the several metro lines temporarily suspended and tram service disrupted to debris on the tracks. Local residents described the storm as one of the most intense in recent memory. It was like a scene from the disaster movie, said Marco Rossi, residents of Venezia neighborhood. The wind was howling, the rain poured in torrential. The sky was lit up, conditions lighting. I never seen anything like that. Milan's iconic landmarks were not spared. The gallery now Victoria Emanuel in the city renowned showing arcade separate minor flooding, with the grounds of Doma di Milena and little broken branches and other debris. The La Scala era open house, however, reported the match and confirmed the uncommon performance will be processed on schedule. The storm also disrupted air travel, with the Milan, Valencia and Elitaria airports experienced delays and cancellation. Passengers were advised to check the airlines for updates, a crew working to clear water-loaded runway and restore operations. Meteorologists from the Italy National Weather Service, Sergio Meteorological, attributed this storm on the unusual coverages of warm and moist air from the Mediterranean and cold from the moving in the northern Europe. They warned the most unstated weather could follow, urged residents to stay informed about forcing and need to further warning. City officials have planned to review the enhanced Milan emergency response protocols. Major Sala emphasized that they need to improve infrastructure to cope the extreme weather events, which are becoming increasingly frequent due to climate change. Our city must adapt these challenges and stand it with the invest better flood address to ensure our emergency service to full equipment to protect our citizens. As Milan begins to address task recovery, this storm severe stock reminder of powerful nature and importance preparedness in the face of climate volatility. Sicily is the largest island of Mediterranean and grappling with the aftermath of devastation storm that struck on Friday evening. The extreme weather event has left a trail of destruction across the island, disrupting daily life and raising concerns about the increasing frequency of such occurrence in the region. The storm, characterized by torrential rain and violent wind, resulted in widespread flooding, particularly in the cities of Catania and Messina. Streets were transformed into rivers, submerged cars, and damaged infrastructure in some areas. The water level rose quickly to residents were trapped in their homes, necessitating rescue operations by emergency service. The Italian Civil Protection Department has reported numerous assistance of people being rescued from the rooftops to upper floors and buildings. Power outage have been widespread on thousands of households left without electricity. The storm has also caused significant damage to the agriculture sector, which has a vital part of Sicily economy. Vineyards and olive groves, many of which were preparing for the harvest season, have been devastated by heavy rains and strong winds. Preliminary estimates suggest the economic impact could run into millions of euros. Transport networks have been severely affected, with many routes rendered impossible due to flooding and landslides. The island's main airport in Catania faced temporarily closed, resulting in numerous flight cancellations and delays. Rail service have also been disrupted for the complication situation for residents and travelers. Local authorities have declared a state of emergency and are urged residents to stay indoors and avoid non-essential travel. The mayor of Catania, Silva Folklore, has called to climate solidarity, emphasizing the importance of community support during the challenging time. We are facing an extraordinary weather event and requires extraordinary measures, he said in the press statement. The storm in Sicily part of the body part of extreme weather event affecting in Mediterranean region, which scientists attributed to climate change. Rising area temperatures and challenges atmospheric coordination are contributing by the intense fall and frequency in such forms. Environmental experts are calling for urgent action to address climate change and mitigating the impact. As the immediate rescue and relief efforts continue, the focus will soon shift recovery to rebuilding. The Sicilian government has pledged to provide financial assistance to those affected in the in infrastructure improvement to better withstand future storm. For now, however, the priority remains ensure the safety and well-being of all residents of the Copa the aftermath of severe weather event. A powerful storm swept through the city of Turin late last night, causing widespread damage, flooding, and significant disruption of daily life. The storm, which brought heavy rain, strong winds, and intense lightning in the worst of severe weather events that the city experienced in recent years. The storm with the Turin alert warning began the late evening and intensified it rapidly. The midnight, several parts of the city were under several inches of water. Of the emergency service was stranded to the limits responded to calls. Reports indicated numerous streets in residential areas have been severely flooded, and a Park of the Valentino, a large public park along the border, particularly hard hit. Fallen trees and debris were blocked several major roads, causing traffic chaos during the morning community. Public transportation has severely affected, with the train service deployed suspended in various parts of the city. The city's metro system also experienced partial shutdowns due to the ignition several underground system. Residential in the hardest hit area were evacuated. The precaution with the temporary shelters set up to accommodate those displaced by the flooding. Authorities have urged people to stay indoors and avoid essential travel. Non-cleanup operations are underway. The storm caused significant damage to city infrastructure. Numerous power lines were brought down by the strong winds, leaving widespread power outage affected thousands of homes and businesses. Utility companies have been working around the clock to restore electricity. Some areas are expected to remain without power for several days. Several buildings, including residential block, commercial properties, sustained structural damage from the fallen trees and fallen debris. In some areas, damage have been severe. In other rented buildings, unsafe prompted evacuation to extensive repairs. The emergency service, including firefighters, police, and medical teams, have been working tirelessly to reach the station. Firefighters have been engaged. The rescue operations helping residents rapid flooded homes include debris from the streets. The local government can activate a crisis management teams to coordinate a response effort to ensure the safety, public safety. Authorities have issued warning about the potential for further flooding and landslides, particularly in hilly areas surrounding the city. The Italian Civil Protection Department have been monitoring weather forecasts and closely advised to residents to remain vigilant and prepare to additional adverse weather conditions. Despite the extensive damage and destruction, our community has shown remarkable resilience. Volunteers have come forward to assist the relief efforts, providing food, clothes, and shelters and affected to the storm. Local businesses have also pitched to offering support to resources to help with the recovery efforts. City officials have promised to communities to respond to emphasizing importance working together to overcome the challenges posed by the storm. This has been a difficult time strength our city, but the spirit of cooperation and solidarity truly inspiration. As Turin begins an arduous task to recovery, attention is also to the long-term implementation of such extreme weather event. Climate experts have pointed this tone the magnitude becoming increasingly common due to climate change, underscored to need the better preparedness for the resilient infrastructure. In the coming days, the immediate crisis subsided, but the will through the assistance drainage system coordinate the force restore normally. For now, the focus remained to ensure the safety and well-being to residents, especially those who have been mostly affected by the devastation storm. A severe storm has swept across the island of Sicily, causing widespread devastation and significant destruction of daily life. The intense weather system which struck on the island on the evening of May 18 brought torrential rain, gale force winds, resulting in extensive damage to infrastructure. And local authorities have reported that storm had left a clear shore in several key roads and highways due to flooding and levees. In the city of Catania, one of the hardest hit area, emergency services were stretched their limits as they responded to numerous calls and aid. The city historic center, UNESCO World Heritage Site, and several buildings suffered structure damage, with some streets rendered impossible to. The regional agriculture sector has also been heavily impacted. Farming plants around Syracuse have reported substantial crops, vineyard cities growth and olive orchard crops. Sicily's economy have been damaged by the yearly estimated suggested millions of euros. In the island, power grid had forced significant strain, with a widespread outage reported. Utility companies are working around the clock to restore electricity, warn that some areas against remain without base. WhatsApp have also erred, particularly in the rural communities where infrastructure have been heavily The storm's ferocity has captured the residents on social media, with drones footage showed streets uprooted, trees and cars being swept away by others. Local meteorologists have been described by the events of the most severe storms on the hit Sicily in years, attributing an intensified to the combination of warm Mediterranean pre-show system moving across the region. Authorities have urged residents to remain indoor and avoid non-essential travel to clean up operations. Schools and public officials in affected areas have been closing, and local government, in coordination with the Italian Civil Protection Department, to assess the full extent of the damaging plan recovery. In the wake of this storm has not been uprooted in solidarity from across Italy. Numerous volunteer groups and non-profit organizations are mobilized to provide assistance in the Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has experienced to government commitment to support the region, plunged emergency fund resources to aid the sources. The Sicily began from these natural disaster questions and being raising the power of the preparedness and resilience to infrastructure in the face of increasingly frequent and severe. The island's vulnerability to such storm underscored the urgent need to enhance disaster preparedness and sustainable development strategies to mitigate the. For now, the focus remained to immediate relief and rebuilding efforts on Sicily. Controls of the aftermath of the storm has left in an immediate recall to landscape. Rome, Italy, the eternal city, renowned historical splendor times beauty on the itself, American severe storm will break havoc across the metro. On the evening, the powerful weather system swept through the room, bringing with it torrential rain, fire and wind, and dramatic lighting displays, and both residents and tourists the stake shock. The storm, which meteorological have described one of the most intense in the recent years, began its assault in late afternoon. As the sky darkened immensely, the deluge alone followed quickly overwhelmed the city. Drainage streets transformed into rivers where the water levels risen rapidly, inundated homes, businesses, and historical landmarks. Emergency services were escalated the limits to respond to the conflict for access. The city's iconic streets, including Buslands, where the Corsan historic were disrupted traffic and public transport. The Rome metro system suffered significant delays and closes. Stations were flooded, standing thousands and communities and tourists on the storm roasted northern living gale force wind gusting up to 100 km/h, uprooted trees and sent debris flying through the assistance. Roman several centuries old trees were narrowly archaeological. The Colosseum were structurally unhandling, enveloped in a crucial water in the storm dark. Among the hardest hit area was the tidal river, which swelled rapidly in the relentless downpour. The river overflowed, leading the flooding assistant neighbor. Rural major culturally addressed the public aftermath of the storm, ensuring residents All available resources are being deployed to assist those affected. The storm is tested on the city, but the rumors are we will work tirelessly to restore normal and support those hit. They also urged residents to remain indoor and avoid unnecessary travel with the clean-up operations where the storm renewed discussions about the Rome infrastructure and all about the COP increasing unpredictable weather patterns. Climate experts have pointed the event to stark reminder of urgent comprehensive urban planning to take account the growing impact of climate. Rome, like many historic cities, facing quite challenges to adapting the environmental. In the storm-away communities across the Rome have moved together in show soldier. Volunteers have been assessing the cleanup efforts, providing food to those displaced by the flooding. Social media have been flooded to message to and other to help highlighting the strong community spirit to provide this as the water receded and skies Rome begin to order disaster recovery. The storm of violence reminded of power has lost its label mark of the city. Yes, its history show time to against Rome enduring stretch and ability in the above adversity. The eternal city was undoubtedly whether the storm emergency stronger taste man, the resilient spirit and underwater resolve of Rome, Italy. The eternal city on high alert is a powerful storm system, defined by intense atmospheric conditions, is supposed to sweep through the region. Meteorologists have issued warning for heavy rainfall, strong winds and potential flooding, prompted city officials to take preemptive measures to safeguard residents and infrastructure. The Italian Meteorological Service has placed Rome under the orange alert, indicating the likelihood of severe weather event that could cause significant disruption. Rainfall total are expected to exceed 100 mm in the same area. Residents concerned about the city instant drainage system and the capacity to handle such a volume of water. In anticipation of the storm, Major Virginia Reggie has covered an emergency meeting with the Civil Protection Authority and public safety officials. We are talking on necessary steps to prepare for the storm. Our priority is to ensure the safety of our citizens and to minimize the impact of the city infrastructure. Public transportation service, including buses and trams, are being closely monitoring the contingency plan in place, including debris blocked by roads. Schools and public buildings also being evacuated by structural integrity, with clear issue possible to conditions worsen. Residents have been advised to stay indoor and avoid unnecessary travel. Emergency services are working constantly to education personnel and equipment deployed to areas moved in the risk of flooding. The city's iconic Tiber River, known as historic flooding, is under constant surveillance. Flood jets ready to be activated with the flood levels rise dangerously. Local businesses, particularly those in low-lying area, are bracing for the impact, standing by to disrupting and protect property, and the insurance companies are preparing for the possible influence claim related to storm damage. The storm approached already caused disruption with the several flights into out in the Rome Leonardo da Vinci International Airport declared to cancel it. Travelers are invited to check with the airline's latest information. The storm comes after an unusually dry weather, which has left the soil able to absorb an immediate deluge, increasing risk to rapid and viewed flash flood. Climate experts note that such extreme weather events are becoming more frequent, attributing this trend to border challenges to global climate patterns. The Rome braces for the storm's full impact. The resilience into people are readily in emergency service will be put to the test. Our authorities are urged to everyone to need warning to stay safe as the city navigates yet another chapter of long history of enduring to overcome natural challenges. Venice, Italy, renowned as historic canals and attitude to face a severe storm and left significant damage in its wake. On Saturday, a powerful storm system moved through the region behind the heavy rain, strong winds and high tides that resulted widespread flooding across the city. The storm is the latest in a series of extreme weather events and have increasingly impacted Venice. Residents concerned about the city undoubtedly were the instant of effect of climate change. The storm began early in the morning, with the intense rainfall of quickly overwhelming the city drainage system. By midnight, large portions of Venice were submerged underwater. The rising water reached level not in signs informs. Acqua Alta event of 2019 St. Mark's Square, a central landmark, was particularly hard hit with the water level rising about the meter, submerged the square, flooding nearby shops and businesses. Local authorities have anticipated the high tides and activated the most flooded barriers drainage to protect Venice in such events. However, the barrier provided infrastructure against the storm intensity. Major experienced frustration, not that while most systems mitigate some damage and the clear of adaptation may should to need protect the city in the future. It is a wake-up all. The most protect is not enough on its own. We must continue investing in infrastructure to protect Venice from the increasing threat to climate change. Residents and tourists alike were caught off guard when the severity of the storm. Many of themselves wanted keep deep water in some sinking refuge in high ground with the winter or when in the upper floor on building. Emergency services were deployed to assist and standard flood waters and temporary shelters were set up to enable refuge to homes. The economic impact of the storm is expected to be significant. Venice relief covered tourism and flooding disruption businesses separation with many shops and restaurants suffering damage on their property and inventory. Cultural landmarks including museums, historic buildings and also a risk when the water seep on a low area level causes concern among the preservationists. Venice inquired geography of intentional the car may hold particularly vulnerable of flooding. The city built of networks, Canal Lowline Island, is naturally suspendable at high tides. However, the frequency of severe and these events have increased in recent years, a phenomenon attributed to the climate change of rising sea levels. Experts warning without the significant action, Venice is facing more severe flooding in the future. Environmental action, the situation of Venice is stuck reminding of the broader impact of climate change. What we are seeing in Venice is not isolated events. It's part of global patterns of extreme weather events, becoming more frequent and severe. In the aftermath of the storm, Italian government has plunged additional resources in the recovery of enhanced flooding protection measures. Prime Minister Venice on Sunday promising swift action to support those affected to improve city defense against the future storm. Venice begins to address the recovery. Storm severe a poignant reminder of city's fragile relationship with the future. The resilience of determination of residents converted to force from the authority to international community will be critical to ensure the historic and the wasteland challenges posed by the changing climate.